CINAHL is the gold standard nursing and allied health database. It provides both filtered and unfiltered information, and its advanced search has the most functionality of all the databases we'll be discussing. CINAHL allows you to limit to specific types of articles, so if you only want to search for a randomized controlled study, you can do that. You could also limit to systematic reviews to find filtered information. We're going to walk through all the potential useful filters you can select in CINAHL. We can find CINAHL linked from the Databases tab on the library's homepage. Once I click the Databases tab, I can either search in the database title or keyword search bar on the right side of the page, or I can click the small C and scroll to find and select CINAHL Plus with full text. Once I select CINAHL Plus with full text, I'm going to need to click Access Database to get to the actual database. The CINAHL landing page is the basic search page, and if I wanted, I could copy and paste my search terms directly into the search bar. However, today, I'd like to use the advanced search, so I'm going to select that link under the search bar. On the advanced search page, I can copy and paste my search string directly into the top search bar. I don't have to divide it up among the 3 bars there. Then I can start playing with the selections below, which we call limiters and expanders, since they allow us to limit and expand our search depending on what we select. Let's start under Search Modes and Expanders, which is the first box at the top under Search Options. We'll want to select Proximity, even though we don't actually want to do a proximity search. When we search for terms using the proximity mode, we want to find results where the terms we've entered are within 5 words of each other, but we don't actually want that. But we're still selecting it. I know. If we use Boolean operators in the proximity search mode, we actually turn on a secret Boolean search mode. That's what we want. Since we've taken great lengths to come up with this awesome, majorly amazing search string using Boolean operators, which is why we select proximity as our search mode. I know it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's sort of how EBSCO search engines are designed at the moment. So we definitely want to select proximity search mode because otherwise we may overrule the search string that we've created. For instance, according to EBSCO, find all my search terms basically searches with Boolean and between all search terms. So for example, the search web accessibility gets searched as web and accessibility, and find any my search terms automatically searches with Boolean or between all search terms. For example, the search web accessibility gets searched as web or accessibility. Smart text searching is intended to be used with a large chunk of text, like a paragraph. That search mode takes the large chunks of text and then selects what it feels are the most important keywords and searches those. Once we've selected proximity, we may also want to select apply related words or also search with the full text of the articles. Both are expanders, but they expand our search in different ways. Apply related words allows you to search for synonyms you don't have listed in your search string as well as those that you do. Also search within the full text of articles does exactly what it says. It will put results based on how many times your search term appears in the full text of the article, not just the title or abstract or pre-assigned keywords that the database has tagged the article with. If you're finding a ton on your topic, you may want to select both of those expanders. You can always remove them on the results page if you're getting way too many unrelated results. Now we can move on to limiters. Under the Limit Your Results section, we'd recommend selecting full text, peer-reviewed, and setting your publication dates to the last 5 years of each search in CINAHL. But let's talk about each one of these and why we'd recommend selecting them most of the time. Anyway, so the full text limiter allows you to limit to items that are immediately available in PARC's collection. If you're starting your research project a bit earlier and you have time to wait about like a week at the maximum to get articles through interlibrary loan, feel free to leave this limiter off. That way you can see the entirety of your results, even items that would need to be requested from another library. You can do this by clicking the Interlibrary Loan tab on our library homepage and then filling out that form. If you are, maybe, not starting this project with a lot of time to spare. Select the full text limiters so that you only see items immediately available to you. You might miss articles, but you will also not see the perfect article you don't have time to wait for, and you'll be able to focus instead on what we do have for you. The peer review limiter will exclude anything that isn't from a peer-reviewed journal. Peer-reviewed journal articles undergo an additional editing process beyond those in a magazine or a newspaper. When an author submits an article, they usually must be an expert in the field they're writing in. Then their article is sent out anonymously to other experts in the field so that they can provide feedback on the content of the article. The author then has to edit the article based on the feedback in order for it to be considered for publication. Sometimes articles are completely excluded from publication if the author's peer editors think their results are funky. Just because an article is from a peer-reviewed journal, though, doesn't mean it's perfect or even accurate. So part of scholarship, especially in the sciences, is an evolution of ideas. Had they existed at the time, medical journals would probably have been filled with articles about like the benefits of bloodletting and balancing of humors a few hundred years ago, because that was the established science of the time. But now we know better since science has revealed a different ordering of nature. But because peer-reviewed articles have undergone this extra step, they're considered superior to other resource types. So we suggest limiting the last 5 years because of all those articles about bloodletting and the balancing of humors. Science evolves and changes, hopefully improving itself over time, right? So this is part of the discourse. You may find that the last 5 years does not adequately encompass your topic. For that, you'd want to speak to your instructor. But recommendations to focus on more recent articles whenever you can, that remains the same. We don't want to make decisions on ideas that may have changed over time. Since we've handled all that, we can start thinking about limiting to the types of evidence. First, I want to point out one option, the evidence-based practice limiter. So you may be thinking, if I click that, will all my problems be solved? That's not the wrong impulse, but sadly it's not quite that simple. The evidence-based practice limiter includes not only evidence-based practice articles, like critically appraised topics, systematic reviews, and randomized control trials, but it also has articles about evidence-based practice. So you may not find that all or even most of the results provide evidence to answer your PICO question. Instead, you may want to use the publication type scrolling menu to select the exact publication types that you're interested in. So you may want to select case study, clinical trial, meta-analysis, meta-synthesis, randomized control trial, and systematic reviews. You can select multiple items that are next to each other in the list scrolling down, holding down the shift key and selecting the last item that you selected, or holding down the control on PC or command on Mac key, and then clicking individual options if you want to select items that are next to each other. Once you've selected those publication types, you can search. Yay! Then, as you review your results, you can make changes to that search, either on the left side of the results page, or you can go back to the advanced search and make further changes. Thanks for watching.